Yo, what is good, everyone? Welcome to the second episode of the Can I Dig It reviews. You're probably confused because I've been putting up videos like every 5 months, but it's 2011 and it's time for some change, so that's what it is. And I know I said I would review a lot of different things, and the first review was about a movie, but I saw another movie by the same person that recommended Thanksgiving, which was Teros, and I just had to review it. When I first heard the name of the film and saw the cover, I thought this movie would be on the Dark Knight level in terms of potential it had, just by the name and cover alone. Now I'm going to show you this cover, and I'll talk about this more in depth later, but as you can see by the title, the movie is called Bachelor Party in the Bungalow of the Damned. It is definitely the longest title I've heard of in my life, and the idea of having a bachelor party in the Bungalow of the Damned just sounds like something you gotta witness. Now, like the title hints to, this movie is about a guy named Chuck that's having a bachelor party that's thrown for him in his friend's bungalow. His friends hire some ladies to help him to have a good time, and the action starts from there. Alright, this is something that I gotta talk about before I talk about anything else. You see, the thing about the females in this movie is they tie you with the girl on the cover, and that's one of the reasons I watched it, because I saw the girl on the cover with a nice body, and you can't see the face but the body looks proper, so I was interested to see what's up. And even in the credits, they got silhouettes of females that are just teasing you, telling you that the females in this movie will be looking amazing. So I'm sitting there waiting for the women to show up, and so far nothing's happening. I'm seeing dudes in a hot tub together but no women, so I'm kind of confused. I'm wondering what's going on. After I start thinking they're just building the hype up for the arrival of these females. Then as the movie progresses, the women show up to the door, and I got my eyes glued to the screen because this was the moment I've been waiting for. But then the dude closed the door, which got me kind of mad because I was expecting them to come in. But he opens the door again only to close it, and now I'm thinking these guys must be building the hype up because the females must be looking like Katy Perry. And then after, for the third time, the dude opens the door and the camera starts from their feet. And that's always what happens when a good looking woman turns up in a movie. The camera always starts from their feet, and when it finally pans up, I'm just speechless, because the women in this movie look nothing like the female on the cover. It's like expecting Angelina Jolie, Daniel Harris, and Rihanna, and you get the girl from The Grudge, the girl from The Ring, and the wife from Shrek. So when they started working the pole, it was definitely one of the scariest moments of the movie for me, because I was not trying to see that. Now you're probably saying that they don't look that bad, and they don't, but they were hyping the arrival for these women with the opening credits and closing the door so much that I was expecting Jennifer Lopez. And how come the girl on the cover isn't actually in the movie? That's some false advertisement. None of these females are built like that in here. And you wanna know what's even more messed up? When I googled this movie, I found what I believe is the UK cover of the film, and it's different, and you're probably thinking it can't be more deceiving than the US version. But what you may not know is that they don't have one but two females appear on the cover that aren't even in the movie. It's like the director was wondering how we could appeal to the UK audience, and adding another girl that doesn't appear in the movie was the answer. I mean, I'm glad I didn't see the UK version of the cover before I watched this movie, because I would have been even more hyped to see the women. This is like some of those MySpace stories you hear about the girls not looking like their picture when you actually meet them. But you know, that was my rant on that aspect of the movie, and we can now move past all that. The lighting in this movie was pretty terrible. I mean, when they went outside in the dark, you could hardly tell what was going on. Even inside the house had some bad lighting, which is not a good look. The camera angles weren't that bad, but they did have a falling scene that was terrible and awesome at the same time. So they get some points for that. The special effects were not good. I can't show too much because a lot of them were involved in the death scenes, but the effects just like ruined the kills, which is not a good thing in a scary movie. The costumes, makeup, and blood were pretty decent, so no real complaints there. The characters in the movie did have some cool shirts as well. I mean, a shirt that says your mom never gets old, and another one that says rehab is for quitters is pretty funny, so they definitely get points for that as well. The music in this movie has some of the most random music choices I've ever heard for their scenes. Like, here's an example.
Thanks again, ladies. And please, feel free to come back Anytime.
Why are they playing ninja music when the girls step outside the house? I mean, I know the black girl disappears like a ninja when she steps outside because of the terrible lighting, but that's no reason to play music like that. Here's another example. Now you probably won't be able to see what's going on in this next clip. What's going to be happening is that they're going to get attacked by one of the vampires in the movie.
Ow. Oh my God.
And now what?
And now he's dead because of you.
No, he isn't.
Not entirely. Why are they playing jungle music in this scene? Now if you're gonna use jungle music, at least put a jungle animal in there or something. I'll improve this scene. Just look at this right here.
Ow. Oh my God.
And now what?
And now he's dead because of you.
No, he isn't.
Not entirely. You can't tell me that wasn't more fitting. Let's look at my last example.
There's a key at the bottom of the stairwell, in the drain.
Any alarm?
I turned it off.
Now that music just straight up doesn't fit. Any gamer knows if you're gonna be looking for a key or any item in general, this would have been more proper.
There's a key at the bottom of the stairwell, in the drain.
Any alarm?
I turned it off.
The acting was as I expected it to be, which wasn't that great. Chuck's wife was probably the best actor here, and she's not even in the movie that much. They also had like 5 M. Night Shyamalan twists at the end of the movie, but that really didn't do anything for the film. Although one thing that is great about this movie is that it's free to watch on YouTube, the whole thing in one video. You know, YouTube now puts up full movies, so that's definitely something that's great, and I hope a lot of companies catch on to this. Now comes the verdict.
Can you dig it, sucker?
Now, this movie had a couple good qualities about it, but at the end of the day, I can't dig it. I mean, it's free on YouTube, and those shirts were cool and all, but I just never got into the story. I could hardly see some of the scenes because of the lighting, and even though it's free on YouTube, I'll probably never watch it again. But yeah, that's my review. I hope y'all enjoyed it. You know, leave a comment if you've seen the movie. If you haven't, then more power to you. Just tell me what y'all think. Y'all have a blessed day. Peace.